Hey there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Miller. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southern California. And today I wanted to make a card using our Sending Hugs stamp set. Now, I purchased this stamp set quite a while ago because I just loved the large image on there. And then you can use the dies and you can stack your letters and put the word hugs. But I figured we needed to use it now because it is on our last chance list. So you can purchase this through May 2nd or until supplies are gone. We've got our Sending Hugs stamp set and our Layering Hugs dies. And in this die set, you get the word hugs, which is what I used. And then I also have a couple samples using the die. But it is retiring and it will be gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I thought we better use it. It's got some great sentiments. You can say, sending you hugs from all of us, sending you hugs and kisses, sending you hugs on your special day. It's a really nice, versatile stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my paper here and we will be using our blends. So I am going to stamp in Memento. I've got my stamp already all set up in there. So let's go ahead and get this in there. And I'm going to make sure that my paper is all the way up in the corner because I do like to re-stamp it after I have colored. So let's go ahead and get this inked up using our Memento, and I've got my blends already here, all ready to get started. So let's get that stamped. That's pretty good. I thought maybe my magnet was in the way, but it's not. Let's ink it up one more time, just to be safe. And this is a really large image. It takes up a lot of your card front, and I just love that. And because we used the Stamparatus, we were able to stamp that again and not worry about it shifting or anything. And I think that looks pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and start coloring. For this card, we will be using, we've got our light polished pink and our light melon Mambo. And then for my greens, now I'm using a little bit of a different color combination here. I've got light granny apple green and my light mossy meadow. I couldn't find my dark granny apple green, so I went with the light mossy meadow. And I just love how that really gives it some shading in there. You can really tell a difference in the colors. So we'll start with our flowers. And what I do here, basic coloring. I don't really do anything fancy. I'm just going to throw a few lines of the darker color up in there. And they look pretty bright here, but once they dry, they do get a little bit lighter. Like, see my polished pink here, my light polished pink, it almost looks fluorescent. But once it dries, it's not. And I really like that. And it looks like I made a little mistake, which is okay. I went out of the lines there. And all I'm going to do is bring in my colorless lifter, my color lifter, and I'm just going to push that color back. And I always wipe it off in between swipes here. I'm just going to take a little bit of that alcohol and push that ink back where I want it. And there, we don't even know that I went out of the line there. And I think I want a little bit more of the darker color in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. Come back in with my lighter color and blend that out. That looks pretty good. So let's move on to a couple other flowers here. There we go. Get that blended. And there are quite a few items on our last chance list, and I will put all the links below so you can go on there and look at all the different stamp sets that are on sale. But once they're gone, they are gone. They will not be restocked. They will not go on back order. They're gone forever, which is a little sad, but I've already seen the new catalog. I am going to put in my pre-order probably this afternoon, and I'm so excited. I've already got my new catalog that starts on May 3rd. They will be shipping any day now, and there's a lot of new stuff in there. Really exciting. Some really cute stuff. I can't wait to start making cards with all of that. So here, just basic coloring. And it does take a little bit of time. I just wanted to show you what I do here. And then for my greens, I start with my light Mossy Meadow. Let's do our big one here. This whole branch of flower leaves, so I can show you. And this is an unusual color combination, but I do really like the way it gives it definition and shading. You can really get a feel for the shadows on there. There we go. I just love those two colors together. I didn't think I would, but I think they're really pretty. So let's go ahead and do a couple more. So for my my little sprigs here that have the little lines, the little tiny leaves on them, I just used the dark Mossy Meadow, and I colored those in. And you don't need to really color. You can just kind of dot your paper because the alcohol ink does absorb pretty quickly. So I just went like that, lightly colored those in the darker color. And I did leave my hugs uncolored just because we are going to be putting dies over that. So let me bring one in that I've already completed, but it's just basic coloring. I just used those 4 colors, the 2 greens and the 2 pinks. So I've got this one that's already all colored and finished and ready to go. I didn't want to bore you too much with my coloring. And then I took the die out of that die set. I took the hugs and I cut it out in my mini cut and emboss machine 3 times, and I stacked those. So I just used this die here and I stacked that 3 times. So I've got my letters, and we're going to go ahead and get those glued on there. But I did want to kind of warn you, for your H and your S, they do have a wrong way and a right way, and it's just very faint. So you can see right here, we've got that line up on the top here in the middle, and it's just a little higher than the rest. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that H around, and then it will fit in there perfect. And we will have a little bit of shadow behind that, which is really kind of pretty. So I'll just add a little bit of glue to my stacked dies here. And I stacked them 3 high. So then we can just get that on there. Just hold it for a second, and that'll be good enough, just till that glue adheres. Go ahead and take our U here. And with the new catalog, if you don't already have a demonstrator, please just send me an email to handmadehugsbymelissa@gmail.com, and I can get one out to you. Not a problem. But for any of my regular customers, they have been ordered, and they should be shipping any day now if they haven't already. So that's exciting. Just a little bit of glue. We don't need a whole lot here. I don't want it to squeeze out. And we'll just go ahead and get these letters placed on there. And you can move it around if you're a little out of your shadow area there. Perfect. And then the same thing with the S as in with the H. It does kind of have a upside down way and a right way, and I think that's probably pretty good. I think that's the right way there. Just add a little bit of glue. There we go. Perfect. And I'm just going to hold that for a second, just until it gets set. So let's go ahead and color our pearls. I brought in my basic pearls, and I'm just going to color them with my blends because it dries super quick. So we'll just color them with our light Melon Mambo. This is the darker of the two pinks. And I'll be using 5 of our pearls on this card. So I do one coat and then I do another layer, and then they dry super quick. And that way everything matches perfect. So let's let those dry, and we will go ahead and we will glue our panel to a layering piece here. I did change it up a bit. On our sample card here, I used the pink for a layering piece and for my hugs, but I did a couple other colors and I really like it with the black. So we're going to use a black layering piece here today. Get that attached to there. And then for this, I put it behind dimensionals. So let's add our dimensionals to that. Now it looks pretty quick here, but it did take a little bit of time. I think it probably took me 10 to 15 minutes to color that hugs image. And you know, and then you have to cut out your hugs and you layer your letters for the word hugs. So it does take a little bit of time, not quite as quick as I'm showing you here. Very simple, but it does take a little bit of time. And I need to get my card base. Okay, so I've got my card base here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use my bone folder and get that creased. And I do like to do both sides, and then I'll do it again after I get my panel adhered to there. So let's go ahead and get these backings off. Now this is a really simple card, but like I said, it does take a little bit of time. And I just wanted to show you today this stamp set. I was really disappointed that I hadn't used it before, and I wish I would have. But this is your last chance. It is on sale, I believe. I know it's on the retiring list. So there we go. We've got that on there. Let's go ahead and add our pearls. Now I've got them, I think what we're going to do first is we're going to put our little sending you hugs and kisses. And what I did here was I just white heat embossed these, and then I cut them out. Now in the die set, they do have little sentiment dies, but I didn't use those. I just cut them out straight. So we'll go ahead and add those on there. And I didn't want to cover up my flower too much. I'm going to pull that down a little bit so I don't get it crooked. So I just kind of put it off to the side there. I used little strips of our black dimensionals. I just cut little strips off the edges so you don't see that adhesive. I think I'll put that one right about there. That looks good. Oh, we're a little crooked. There we go. That's better. And we're almost done. Let's go ahead and add our pearls on here. I just love that I can color them any color I want, and they will match my stamped image that I colored. Let's put it over here. So we're going to do 5. You always want to do your rules of odds on there. So we'll put another one up here. I think we'll put one, we'll put another one down here, over here, and then one down here. How about up in there? Perfect. How's that look? And that was really simple. I just love this stamp set. Isn't that pretty? And you can do it colorful. So which one do you like better? Do you like the black hugs with the black border or the pink hugs with the pink border? Actually, that's polished pink paper. And I will list everything below. And then I've got a couple other samples for you here. I did one in our yellows. This was Daffodil, I believe. I colored it in Dark Daffodil Delight and Light Daffodil Delight. And then I colored my pearls with the Mossy Meadow. I used the same greens in there. So I've got quite a few different colors I did here. And then this one, I really like the orange. I used our Dark Pumpkin Pie and Dark Pale Papaya. I just love those colors together. And I went ahead, my first samples here were the pink and the daffodil. And then I did one in the black with the black accent, and I really, really liked that. So I continued on with the black accent. Here I've got light Highland Heather and dark Highland Heather. I just love that with the black. It's so pretty. And then this one, I've got 2 here where I did paper piecing. And I am going to be honest with you. This was a little more time consuming. This actually took quite a bit of time. I've got my white piece here, and I'll show you that die. It is the larger die here, and it's not quite as big as the stamp set. You can see that. It's actually quite a bit smaller. But I cut out 2 of these in the white, and I stacked them, and I layered it. Then I cut out 1 in the purple, which is my gorgeous grape. And then I've got my light green here. And then for my background, I used my stitched die, and this is soft sea foam. And it's not difficult, but you know what? I will tell you, it is very time consuming. I actually lost quite a few of my pieces and had to recut them. I've got my polished pink, and I used Mossy Meadow for my layering piece, my darker green. And again, the soft sea foam for my light green. And it's just beautiful. I love that dimension. I'm hoping you can see that dimension on there. But I will tell you, it was more time consuming. So unless you've got a couple hours to sit and work on it, I wouldn't attempt it. But it is just beautiful. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of pieces and just leave them in piles. And that way I can work on it a little bit at a time. So those are our cards for today. Please let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment. Please give me a thumbs up, and please share with all your friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.